In an order which has come as a big boost for OPS, the Madras High Court has reinstated the former Chief Minister as the coordinator of the AIADMK. The court has ordered the position to be maintained as on June 23rd, and a fresh General Council meet is to be held. The decision to abolish the posts of coordinator and joint coordinator taken in the 11th July General Council meeting also stands cancelled now. So that's a big relief for OPS and a massive setback for EPS from the Madras High Court. The Madras High Court ordering maintaining status quo as was the case on the 23rd of June in the matter relating to the conduct of the 11th July General Council meeting of the main opposition party in Tamil Nadu. All right, let's now understand the ramifications of this judgment. What does this mean for the AIADMK and for politics of Tamil Nadu? Joining us to discuss this is Kovai Satyan, who is joining us, who is the spokesperson of the AIADMK. R. Rajgopalan, senior journalist, also joining us. Dr. Narayan Lakshman, associate editor of The Hindu, and C. Rajshekharan, lawyer, also going to be with us shortly. Kovai Satyan, to you first. What do you make of this judgment?
The Honorable Judge asked him once, why are you knocking the courts quite often? Why don't you go with your agenda to the cadres and win their hearts? So his relevance will only remain in judiciary. We stated this a couple of months ago, like how Shashikala is banking upon her luck with judiciary. OPS also will bank upon his luck for a couple of more months with judiciary. His relevance will not be there in the minds of the cadres or office bearers of AIADMK.
All right, that's your opinion, Dr. Lakshman. Let me bring you in. You know, it's a big setback for EPS. Does this now mean that he no longer is the interim general secretary of the party? Is OPS also back now in the party with this order?
Yes, absolutely. It is a setback, significant setback to EPS, because basically it restores the status quo ante, which means that the position of coordinator and co-coordinator comes back. EPS's assumption of the general secretary role is nullified, and therefore it is unfortunately for the AIADMK, whether you say it's OPS just pushing his luck at the courts, it does mean a continuing state of flux for the AIADMK. Their attempt at consolidating rule under one leader has failed so far, and unless they survive this legal challenge and the EPS campaign prevails, there is going to be more chaos within the party, and this also opens the window for horse trading. It opens the window for all kinds of fluctuations within the party cadre, which I'm sure EPS would have been hoping to avoid. But at the same time, to Kovai Satyan's point, unless OPS actually begins to win support among the cadre, and in the realm of politics, he consolidates his power and his base, this is going to be an uphill task and a losing battle for him. So I think one must keep that broader context in mind as we observe the twists and turns in the saga of the AIADMK.
All right, let me just briefly get Mr. Satyan back into the conversation. Mr. Satyan, without criticizing the judiciary, now that the order has come, OPS is back into the party. Do you accept him also as your leader?
Let me reiterate the facts. While he was the coordinator, he is the one who called for the General Council meeting on 23rd of June. While he was the coordinator, the topic of single leadership rose. Fearing that he will lose out in that agenda, he knocked the doors of courts, asking to make the proceedings null and void. Even he went to the police, putting a stoppage to the event on 23rd. That never happened. So it is not something after he was out from the party, the single leadership topic came. While he was the coordinator of the party, the majority wanted AIADMK to have a single leadership, and the person who is fit
Do you
to head
now
the party
accept
as
him
a
as
single leader
as
is
your
Yedapadi.
leader now that the court has ordered status quo ante?
I don't. After his actions on vandalizing and ransacking the party office, he lost his place in the hearts of the AIADMK. Maybe on papers he might call himself
All
as
right.
the leader or coordinator,
All right.
but as far as
Interesting.
AIADMK is concerned, his time is done.
So you don't accept him as a leader of the AIADMK, Mr.
I
Rajshekharan.
don't.
So OPS is still in the race for battle for Jaya's legacy, at least after this order. What do you think are going to be the ramifications of this order? What is OPS expected to do now?
This Madras High Court has sent a strong cadres of, if they stand this party, if they are going to create within definitely.
Mr. Rajshekharan, I'll come back to you. There are some network issues there, but Mr. Rajagopalan, what does this mean for the AIADMK now? Do you think EPS and OPS can work together, or has that ship sailed? And if it has to be either EPS or OPS, what does that mean for the AIADMK?
They cannot work together. It's ego problem. Second thing, there is a, pay for EPS who organization in the recent that general meeting he had 2,000 cadres of general council members. Apart from that, district secretaries are with Mr. Yedapadi Palaniswami. MLAs are with him. Of course, OPS got a relief today. OPS has gained the victory. But legally, OPS might have gone victory. Important thing being, it's a caste-ridden political party. ADMK has been divided vertically into favor and counter party. And till elections are over, these court cases, Election Commission, High Court, Supreme Court, like that, they may be hopping up from one end to another. But the real matter is who is going to get the authority to sign that two-leaf symbol. Whether two-leaf symbol will be active during the election, or one section will go for freezing of it. Apart from that, my understanding is with this, the central leadership of BJP, even 2019, tried to bring all the factions together. That may work up. If it is not working up, you have elections 1 year away, 1.5 years away. Till then, the court cases will be fought, the Election Commission will be fought, you and me will be daily discussing. But court has, my understanding is, whatever you argued before it, they gave judgment, but they did not react to the political thing, because you can't expect a ruling from court on political matters. And second thing, Sasikala, TTV Dinakaran, how they are going to play it up with this. And to end it, OPS, EPS, Yedapadi Palaniswami, O Panneerselvam will never, ever meet or have a eyeball-to-eyeball contact. That example, you got it from Kovai Satyan, who is representing EPS camp in our panel.
Yes. Yes. Dr. Lakshman, do you think this is realistically possible in politics? Politics is the art of the possibilities. So do you think EPS, OPS can work together after what has happened in the recent past? Also, is this AIADMK infighting advantage the DMK? What does this leadership crisis in AIADMK means for the politics of Tamil Nadu?
Absolutely. That's a great question. I think very much the DMK benefits from this. I do not think OPS and EPS will have will be able to reprise their previous innings where, OPS served as Deputy Chief Minister and EPS as Chief Minister. The irony is that was actually a very successful formula because they managed to hold the peace between them. And at the same time, they did govern the state successfully for about 4 years. And I think the state and the people benefited from the policies that they enacted during that period. I think what happened to upturn that cart was that at the time of election, the people obviously went with a party that had a strong, unified leadership with all the cadres behind it. Now, that will continue to be the main problem for the AIADMK, as I said, going forward. The factionalism that you see between these two wings, one side resorting to legal interventions, the other side holding the support of many of the cadres politically, will continue to clash and cause instability, and that will benefit the DMK. The DMK will be able to consolidate its hold further without fear that the ADMK will manage to take over or be an even effective opposition party. I think the big question in the background here is the role of the BJP, because let's face it, they are very successful in other states of India, especially in the north, but they have failed spectacularly when it comes to the south, and they are still, they have a question mark in West Bengal. I think they will continue to do what they do behind closed doors, which is try and make deals. We saw the other day they have reached out to the AIADMK party, and it appears likely that they will pick them up. I think there is a chance that their role could also, as I said, further continue the instability within the AIADMK. But if there's some kind of peace to be made between those two, the ADMK stands a chance of being the BJP's vehicle, if it were, to enter Tamil Nadu politics, which has otherwise proven quite resistant to their brand of Hindutva politics.
Interesting. Mr. Rajagopalan, you wanted to come in quickly before I get Mr. Kovai Satyan back into the conversation.
The context with which we are discussing now, this type of this debate will prolong for another 6 months, 1 year like that, because it's going to be a zigzag battle. One right, one left, one right, like that. But in totality, I disagree with the other panelists. My understanding is K Palaniswami has the organizational capacity, and run up to this today, for the past 1 year, the basis of K Annamalai, the BJP chief, who has gained grounds in Tamil Nadu, he attracted the youth. Therefore, my understanding is he's going to be advantage BJP. The DMK rule has been very, 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 very unsatisfactory from the public point of view. Their electoral promises have not been fulfilled. So my conclusion is DMK will be not in a position to encash the ADMK split. Earlier, before the split happened, during the lifetime of Jayalalitha also, Rajinikanth wanted to take the clue. Now, with that space also gone, my understanding is that digital children, those who have been born after this, they are attracted towards the BJP. Therefore, one section of the ADMK will definitely go into DMK side. The other section will come to BJP. In the run-up to 2024 and 2026, I see the demise of two Kalagams in Tamil Nadu.
All right, so interesting viewpoints there, differing viewpoints there. Kovai Satyan, quickly, what is the EPS camp's next step going to be?
No, the court has clearly said, go by the majority. The General Council has to be held under the guidance and the view of a presidium chair or a commissioner. Whoever is appointed has to run the affairs. If at all the General Council were to be held, it has to go by the majority. The majority is with Edappadiar, EPS. And even if the General Council were to be held tomorrow, he will get unanimously elected as the single most leader to guide the party. Fearing this, why Mr. OPS is harping upon his luck with judiciary. On 23rd, he wanted this to be boycotted. He wanted this to be stalled. On 11th, he wanted this to be stalled. So he doesn't want General Council to be held because he knows that the majority is with EPS and he will lose out his political identity and his post. So the next course of action will be both judicial means as well as conducting the General Council. Let it take shape as and when the time comes. But whatever may be, the end result is going to be EPS leading all the way.
All right, we'll wait and see how the story pans out in the coming days and weeks. For the moment, Mr. Rajagopalan, Dr. Lakshman, and Mr. Kovai Satyan, thanks very much for speaking to us, sharing your perspective on this rather interesting development in Tamil Nadu. We're stopping for a